this.
It says live.
Yeah, I'm in the driver's seat. Down a little bit.
Yeah,
A little bit more.
Probably.
Probably.
I don't know. I'll sit in it and see.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll work for you.
Hey, I'm in Nick's seat today. Welcome, everybody. This is Regular Cars and You.
It's already on.
Yeah, it's been on for a little while.
Yeah.
Oh, it's me.
Phone's ringing. Welcome, guys. This is not a Regular Cars podcast. It's the after the Halloween thing.
Yeah.
I'm Brian. Nick is not here. This is my friends, the Johnsons. You remember them from RCR New Zealand? Well, they're doing a world tour of the U.S.
I guess you can call it that,
Yeah.
can't you?
How about, let's see, we get this mic closer to you guys. If you want to check your levels, your headphones are still plugged into the mixer. You can actually listen to yourself on that
Fascinating.
and hear yourself talk. Are we coming through?
Can you hear
Are
us?
we coming through?
Mm-hmm.
All right, then.
Alright.
Yeah.
Yep,
So we're just going to hang out for a little bit. I'm probably going to drink some more. We were just at the bar, had 2 drinks, but I'm feeling fine. I could do scotch
Yeah.
again.
Scotch?
Yeah. Maybe not now. But these guys never had shoe fly pie before.
Oh, that's right. We're gonna try
So
that.
we're going to cut some shoe fly pie, have some fun with them.
Oh, yeah.
Can you hand me my tablet right there by you,
Yes.
Juliet? Thank you. So we'll be here answering your questions and stuff. As the night goes on, I'm at 29% here, so I can
Answer questions till the thing dies.
Yeah, I have a bunch of battery packs over there. In fact, that's a good idea. Let me. There's like a little. If you want to search behind your laptop, there should be a little battery pack underneath the. Yep, there it is, and the power charger should be plugged into the power supply right in there next to my router.
The white cord.
The white one here. Yank that puppy. Yep. And that'll be the cheap way of getting some juice into this tablet. And I use the tablet because I can
See the comments.
yeah, I can stop the comments on this. So, hey, Mr. Regular, how do you make boilo? Okay. Boilo.
What's that?
Boilo is a cordial.
Cordial?
Cordial.
What's cordial?
Okay, a cordial is, I guess it's a U.S. term for an after dinner liqueur.
Oh.
Okay.
We have after dinner mints.
It's like Hennessy or maybe Bailey's or something like that.
So like a milky liqueur based kind of drink.
Yeah.
To make you drowsy and go to sleep.
Exactly. So, okay, here's how you make boilo. You have a spirit base, which it could be Bacardi 151. I mean, the higher alcohol content you can, the better. Moonshine, the best. Oh, we have a super chat from New Zealand.
Oh,
NZ
really?
$5. Mr. Duckhead. What do you think about the 1992 first generation Honda Fireblade? I have a really nice one in New Zealand that I would love for you to ride. Well, we have 2 Kiwis right here.
gosh.
Whereabouts, Mr. Duckhand? Mr. Duckhead, where are you in New Zealand? Because these guys would know better than you.
Yeah.
Okay, a Fireblade. I think we got it here. I don't know if we got it in the same displacement as yours. That is a 90s style. I love 90s. Oh, we have another one. See, this is why I have.
The Roman looks different today. Oh,
Yeah, the Roman looks very different today. Let me get my own channel going here so I can pause this stuff and keep up with the super chats. My channel. There we are. Brian and You and Friends.
Is it?
Yeah, Honda Fireblade. It's a motorcycle.
Oh, that's how little
So,
we know.
first generation Honda Fireblade. I think they were sold in the US. I adore 90s motorcycles of all kinds because they're like maximum horsepower and minimum braking. They are very dangerous. They are raucous. They are usually always carbureted. They're finicky. And they're actually coming up in price right now, especially the Honda V4 Interceptor is a delightful bike that I love. Please, in the spirit of the great country of New Zealand, I want to know where you guys are from. Brakes make you go
bets.
slow. I want to
Oh,
go
yeah.
slow.
My bet would be Auckland because a quarter of the population lives there.
Good shot.
Good bet.
The VMAX was king. Where is Bran? All right. That's okay. I don't really have to see how it goes so fast. It's
Yeah.
gone.
Boom, boom, boom.
Anyway, so love the Fireblade. Clovis, thank you for your generous donation, $10 Canadian. Whoa, Roman looks different today. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm in Nick's seat right now because the Johnsons are in my seat. Normally, when I do it, I'm over there.
Oh yeah. That's like the
Thank you
guest-
so
the guest
much.
Seat, the guest hot seat.
Yeah. YT Pillars ZYT, Mr. Regular, will you ever make a crash course video? I would love to do a crash course about American realism because it's my it was my master's thesis, and academically that is my most knowledgeable subject. It would be fun to do. I would definitely have to write the script, and I think they have historians and stuff that go along with that thing. In the early days of RCR, like 2014, when I would do my color correction, I would do it to Crash Course. Like that was what would be playing in the background, and I worked my way through their entire catalog. And I did read Looking for Alaska, Mr. Green's novel, while I was working at Bethany Children's Home at the very beginning of RCR. That was my night job. I was a night tutor there at that boarding school. And I read John Green's book. I loved it. I mean, yes, it's a young adult novel, but damn was it well written. And I really like novels that don't patronize children, to realize that their stories and their struggles are just as genuine as anybody else's, even if um, they are over what we as adults would conceive to be trivial matters, in the same way as Jerry Spinelli, who wrote Maniac McGee, who I had the fortunate privilege to meet my senior year in college. One of my professors was friends with Jerry Spinelli. And the weird thing was, when I met that author, he was there in my classroom and he was doing this the entire time. He was playing with his lower lip, like, meh,
Stress
meh.
relief.
You know, like if you take it and you bend it and you can kind of with your
Oh, like
like
Mhm.
that,
I
where you
gotcha.
get the
Yeah,
put
yeah.
the crease in it and you can
Mm.
feel the crease. He was doing that. He was in the front of the class. I'm like, this is a Newbery Award winning author, and he's up there in the front of the class when he wasn't teaching with his face. Jerry Spinelli, great. He's from Pennsylvania, and yeah. Who do you got? Wookie Automotive TV recently bought an old man church vehicle, a 1987 Dodge Diplomat Saloon. Which makes me think, why are you calling it a saloon? You're giving me American dollars. We don't use that term. It's or maybe a salon was a trim level. What are your thoughts of the Chrysler M platform? I think they're total garbage, but they're garbage that you want to dive into and roll around in. They're not good cars. I mean, this is like, well, Iacocca went to Chrysler, I think, in 1978. Oh, it's disgusting. Zachary Sanders doesn't have a question, but thank you for $1. Have you ever read The Bridge to Terabithia? No, but I read the Spark Notes. Said the one.
There's
Okay,
a movie as well.
The
did
I
you
watched the
guys-
The
movie.
movie's good.
Is
I
it?
like the movie.
Well,
Yeah,
You know what the whole basis of it is?
yeah. It's like an imaginary place that a person
It's
goes
about a child going through death.
to.
and dealing with death.
Yeah.
It's very dramatic. It
The
starts off
ending's
like
dramatic.
well, it's not even the ending. It's like midway. It's like like happy and interesting, but it's actually like about children going through death
Yeah.
and dealing with it.
Like, can you refresh my memory? Who dies?
Okay,
The
so a boy
girl.
makes a friend with a girl, and they have this mystical land that they go to, and they have to cross a swing bridge, like a rope bridge, to get there. But one
Yeah.
day the river was really flooded, and she went across and drowned. He wasn't
And
there.
when
He wasn't there.
and he blames himself, saying that
Because he said he was going to
because
go with
if I was there, the bridge would have worked, but because he wasn't there, he thinks that the bridge collapsed because he wasn't there to help her.
the swing bridge. Yeah.
It's a really good movie. Like, we
Okay.
really love the movie. It's
Well, I watched
Deep,
that once or
that's good.
twice.
Heavy.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you don't see it coming, then it's just kind of like,
yeah.
Wow.
both sides,
shit.
yeah.
whoa. Can you imagine the amount of kids,
Oh, yeah.
parents who might have taken their kids to watch that movie and not realize what its subject matter is?
But I think it's still kind of good
It's
for kids
good.
to see
Oh,
that
for
movie.
sure.
Like,
You know,
it's
like
written in a
Bambi.
way that kids are good to see.
How are the Johnsons' audio going? Because they're sharing a microphone. Let me know if their audio is good or not. If not, let's see. You guys are the ones with the silver plug, so you're in microphone number 2. You have a little slider there. You can actually listen to yourself, and if you feel that you are a little bit quieter than me, you can put it on those headphones, and you can hear what the mic hears. So
Still have to talk back.
I am
That's
saying
good.
something. Now you say something.
I am saying something as well.
I am saying something.
Yeah, you're definitely lower.
Lower. So you can raise the volume on pot number 2. Okay, you see how, look at this microphone. You see how it has a silver plug?
Yeah.
And down there on the mixer, you can see the silver plug is, and there are all the audio channels right down for you. And that slider down there, if you push that up, you will raise your own volume.
Go, Bryce.
Am I louder now?
I am louder. This is me. This is Brian talking.
And this is me talking.
This
Yes,
is me talking.
Yep.
Okay, now
Yep.
you're equal. Okay. So we have the guy from New Zealand with the bike. He got back to us.
Yeah.
Let me see where
Was
he
he
is
in
here.
Auckland?
Wellington.
Mr. Duckland says riding position is ridiculous. It cracks and pops on the overrun. No electronics. Brakes are pretty good though. I'm in Christchurch.
Ah.
Both wrong. Completely. So another quarter of New Zealand live in the South
We haven't
Island.
even made it to his island yet.
No,
so
we've never been to the South Island. You've beat us.
That's
You've
been like this continuing theme of people I meet from the North Island never
We've
go.
been to the South Island.
What is up with that?
It's so far.
it's so close that it's too close.
Oh,
I don't
Like,
know.
if I'm gonna make the effort of traveling, I'm gonna go to Australia or America or
Mm.
Hawaii
Yeah.
or Nepal.
But in saying
That
that, like
little hop.
you live in America, and how many states have you been to?
do we count driving through them?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to fetch me the globe. It'd be easier to say the states I haven't been to.
Oh, okay, so you've been to quite a few then.
Yeah, let me see globes.
So you've
Just-
been to over half.
Yeah, we've known a lot.
States I haven't been to.
We've met a lot of Americans though that have told us like they've only been to like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Really?
So it's kind of like, well, you're more likely to, but they've been to like other countries and explored other countries quite significantly.
I haven't been to Kentucky,
Oh,
Michigan, both upper and lower. I haven't been to Wisconsin, Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, Oklahoma,
These are what he
New
hasn't been
Mexico.
to.
These are haven't been.
Yeah.
Arizona. I haven't been to Idaho or Utah or Wyoming or Montana or Nevada or Arizona
You
or
said
Hawaii.
you already said Arizona.
Finished
All
a
right,
couple
said
of
it
twice.
twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're at roughly like 17 at the moment.
Okay. So I've been to over half. I've been to most of the East Coast. I haven't been to. Where's Killington? Killington is in Vermont. So I haven't been to New Hampshire or Maine or Rhode Island.
So
Getting up to
about
20.
half.
Yeah.
All right. So about half. Places I want to go in the U.S. Montana. I want to go to Montana.
What's in
in
Montana?
Yeah.
It's big sky country. It's one of the least populous states in the U.S.
Mm.
and also a lot of mountains.
I was gonna say, does it have skiing there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, it's got skiing. Colorado is where everybody goes, and it is
Yeah.
baller to go in there. Denver is on this globe. Denver is in the wrong place.
What? Can I see?
Denver is like north by the border in Wyoming. That is wrong. Oh, you know why? Because the word America probably took
Oh.
the
Is it covering
space.
it up?
Yeah. So they put Denver. They put Denver like where Boulder is. I get it, they're close, but all right, whatever. Harrisburg. All right, Harrisburg on PA. Like we have Pittsburgh, Harrisburg, and Philadelphia, but they had to write Philadelphia out in the Atlantic Ocean on this thing. My favorite American accent is South Carolina. It's like warm butter. It's amazing. You like that is my favorite American
I
accent.
shall hold the globe.
You can look after the globe. Tiger can sit on the globe.
Wow. Spin.
Okay.
Spin, my precious. Oh, he fall.
He fold.
He can be
I'm gonna catch up here on the questions. Wookie Automotive TV as a follow-up. Thank you for your donation. Salon is a trim package. Only badges is inside the door. So it's literally, there's no difference about it. It's just like a bunch of fancy stuff on the engine. Huh. That is fantastic. Fantastic. What about Hawaii? Says Todd Binghamton. No, I haven't been to Hawaii either.
Hawaii's great.
See, the thing about Hawaii for us on the East Coast, it's already a 5-hour flight to fucking LA.
Yeah.
Now it's
Yeah.
another 4 or 5 or 6 to
We're
Hawaii.
doing it. It's all
We're
good.
doing it. I think it's like 12 hours if we go from Sydney. Oh, no, not that bad. It was
No,
like
no.
7 or 8.
Something like that.
Anyway,
Come join us in December.
Yeah.
in December,
Yeah.
This
you're
December.
flying out
Hawaii.
to Hawaii.
Like the do we have a date?
I think it's the 3rd of December we go to Hawaii.
Yeah. For all of December till the 10th of January.
Really?
Oh, no. So we get to Hawaii on the 7th of December. So 3rd we go to China, 7th we get to Hawaii.
Gotcha.
And then we don't leave till the 10th.
Of January.
Huh.
Good times.
Let me roll around in the old gray matter and think.
Yeah, I wonder how long. Yeah, that would be quite a long flight. Wait, jump.
Yeah.
Is that Hawaii there?
Yeah.
And where's
then-
New Zealand?
Down
there.
here. So if you look at, let's see if we can compare the jump.
Roughly about the same, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Pretty close too.
It's the same distance from New Zealand to Hawaii and Pennsylvania to Hawaii.
Wookie Automotive TV. Okay, we said Salon is a trim package. Racecars Nat doesn't have a question. Thank you for the $2. Ryan Zen says, what are your thoughts on the 7th generation Honda Civics? I don't have a thought about them. I just think they're cars. They are an car. They are not quick. They are not slow. They're perfectly adequate. Go buy a 7th generation Civic. They're worth every freaking dollar you put into them. Great. Good. Does it make your dick bigger? No. No. They're fine. As is all Civics. They're good. Are you driving a race car? No. Is it an SI? No. Is it a Type R? No. No, it's a Civic. Great. Learn to drive stick, which is a thing in the US because here people driving a stick is kind of a little bit weird. Because, yeah.
We were talking about this on the
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, we talked about the racetrack a little bit too.
right
Yeah.
about how like
Yeah.
50% of New Zealanders kind of know how to drive stick.
No,
Yeah. Like
Well,
America,
80%
it's like,
of New Zealanders know how to drive stick.
yeah.
It's rare to find New
Pennsylvania's
Zealanders who
like
don't.
United States, like 20% of the people know how to drive a manual.
Mm.
transmission.
Gee.
It's just, here's how that started. In the 40s and like the 50s, most cars were manual transmissions, but most of them were only 3 speeds.
Mm.
And they like to boast how little you had to shift down from third. Hence the whole V8 everything. Like they'd have enough power you wouldn't have to shift down to go up a hill, pass anybody. And then when automatic transmissions came in vogue, I suppose, late 50s, early 60s. They were billed as a sport option, not a convenience, but a sporting thing.
Oh, that's
So they were
weird.
sold as a luxury product, and they caught on immediately. Like
Except for
people
maybe
loved
like
them.
farmers. I don't know. Would they prefer them as well though? Like
Yeah, I guess like agricultural
yeah.
vehicles, like tractors and stuff. I
Well,
guess they're
even Toyota Hiluxes and whatnot, or whatever you call them in America.
tundras.
Tundras. Are they
Tundras.
not manual as well?
My landlord, the one out there,
Mm.
is a stick, but most of them are sold as automatics. Um, so most of like Mustangs and stuff were automatic as well. They were saying that this is a sporty, quick shifting automatic. It was just marketing
Yeah.
wank, really. So people came to view as if you are well to do, you have an automatic transmission.
Huh.
So it was a sign of affluence to have it.
I mean, it's really convenient too. I mean, you can eat a cheeseburger.
Well, it's
veg
handy in
burger,
like
drive
cities,
really
but
awkwardly.
in rural country, manual's so much better.
It is.
Like,
Yeah.
love stick.
There it came to a point that a stick shift car was seen as one of two things. You're poor, or it's a small sports car, such as like Miata MX-5s are almost exclusively stick. I've never seen an automatic version. I've seen like maybe one or two for sale, and they're weird. So most excuse me for a second. The I suppose in the 80s there was a resurgence of manuals when everything went someone says, Brian, for the love of the delirious, turn on slow chat. Yeah. I'm sorry, I forgot to do that. I don't know how to do it mid chat. Can I do it up here?
Maybe.
Nope, can't. I think I would have to stop the stream and do it all over again.
You can do it through the when you do the OBS way.
Yeah.
I know how to do it through that, but I don't know how to do it through here.
It's a Charleston chew.
What is what?
A
Charleston chew? I have no idea what that is. Is there a way to turn on slow chat when you're not using OBS? That's a good question. Anyway, I'll find out where I was recently. Find out where I was.
Chocolate with a candy bar.
Oh.
Nougat and other things.
Okay.
See, there's a question about air-cooled Vanagons.
Chocolate covered nougat.
Okay.
Do you watch Big Mouth? I'm going back up through everything. Okay, we stopped on 7th generation Honda Civics. Nick Belanger says, do you watch Big Mouth? I feel like you would. Nick Roman, who isn't here, has watched Big Mouth, but I haven't. I know one of the comedians I like is one of the producers, and he's on the show. And I've seen a lot of like memes from the show. But as for me watching Big Mouth, I'm afraid I haven't. So if you say like in jokes and stuff like that, then I don't know. Then I don't know
over the top
how to do that. So yeah. Anyway, it's weird. Like this is the first time I actually see the chat going by, so I have to. Normally, like Nick is watching it,
Mhm.
and I'm just
Yeah, you're just
keeping
blabbering
track
on
of
and
super
somebody else
chat on
can.
here. Yeah. Brian Lethau, thank you for your generous donation. Best vehicle I can daily but still haul stuff. Biggest thing being a dirt bike or say a couch. Wait, let me see here. Best vehicle I can daily but still haul stuff. Biggest thing being a dirt bike or say a couch. See, you say couch, but well, here's a problem with the super chat. That's how I fix it. I take off my glasses. Now I can't see it. Yeah. Well, not with super chat. I can still see it, but ignoring the shenanigans going on in there. Now I'm blind. Good luck. The hauling a couch.
Closed or unclosed? Do you want like
Exactly.
a van or like a ute?
Yeah.
If you're wanting like a van, I don't know. Do you have
Like if you're
Toyota
saying like a
Hiace
love
or-
seat, you'd have to.
And is it raining?
You
where
need
you're
like a
from?
Volvo
Like, are you
850
in
wagon
Florida?
or
Is it
something
gonna
like
flash
that. Yeah.
floods?
You're talking van, man. Once you say couch. The best vehicle I can daily but still haul stuff. Biggest thing being a dirt bike or dirt bike. So you need to haul a motorcycle. This is a pickup truck at this point. This is a ute.
Well, you can do that in like a Toyota Hiace or something like that.
In a van.
We don't have Hiaces here.
Ah,
We have like Chevy 350 work vans.
yeah.
You'd need
You got
a.
like the Volkswagen vans, don't you? Like the workhorses. Can't remember the names.
I don't think so.
Huh? Oh.
Well, the other question is, do you want your whole van smelling like petrol and dirt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if it's
Dude,
on the outside of the car, at least.
If you're
it's
hauling a
vehicle.
bike, I think you're driving a Toyota Tacoma, really. Because if you're hauling a dirt bike, you're gonna have to like get a trailer. I think that's really the option is to just have your normal car
Mm,
get
and
a
a
trailer.
trailer.
and get a trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Simple.
that's the simple way. Put your simple insurance on that thing, and then that's it. Kenny Fisher says, "What is your opinion on air-cooled?" And thank you for your donation, Kenny. What is your opinion on air-cooled Volkswagens, and do you have any plans on reviewing any? In fact, I've just finished a review on an air-cooled Volkswagen.
Ah, surprise, surprise.
Like we were there with Justin Kramer, and he has this great line in the review. He says, "If you don't care about the gas smell or the exhaust smell or any regard you have for your personal well-being, it's not that bad of a car." So that's what I think about air-cooled Volkswagens. I think they're they're a nice curiosity and a nice now and then car, but as a getting around vehicle, nope. I mean, just think about driving, because unless you're out on like a 2-lane road, you're that guy holding up the show.
Mm.
Like, imagine someone trying to climb over the Rumataka Pass in a freaking classic Beetle, just chugga
Oh.
chugga 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 chugga.
You get that.
I mean,
Yeah,
I guess as
that
long as
slows
you use the
everyone
slow
down.
lanes and let people by,
You-
but
Yeah.
there's only so many of those.
Thank you, Kenny. Oh, the guy from Christchurch says this.
People from Wellington think we're all racist.
We're Warrapper, so we're not as bad.
Well, the Warrapper, we're pretty chill. We're pretty
Yeah.
it's all good, bro.
See, when I went to the South Island, me and Andrew Lamb, we just booked it right to
That's right.
Queenstown.
Queenstown.
Yeah.
Said you got to see Queenstown.
Yeah.
And what I saw was a Louis Vuitton store right on the
Oh
beach.
my gosh. I
And
remember
I'm
your
like-
descriptions there.
The place was, it was very pretty.
Mhm.
It was offensively expensive.
yeah.
Yeah.
We saw the most amount of Americans I've seen in New Zealand were there,
Mm.
and most of them were working service jobs, like serving food in like cafes and stuff. We saw a lot of what I would later learn to be, I don't know what the polite way to say it is, but Chinese party members.
party members?
like government.
Yeah.
Oh, would they be on like a tour of some sort, like a
Yeah.
business tour?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get big tour groups.
Okay.
Like that.
Yeah.
That's pretty common
Uh,
in like the bigger cities, not in the wire.
Well, they go all around the country. I think they stop at Power World and then bypass the rest of the wherever.
I saw myself hating tourists by the end of the first day. The second, a good fan of the show lent us a nice tuned up Subaru with like sports exhaust and everything, and
Oh,
an
yeah,
engine
yeah.
swap. And it went pow pow pow, and it pew pew, and it spit fire out the back.
Yeah.
It was like overruns and pops and stuff. It was great.
Because you took that up into a mountain somewhere, didn't you?
Oh, we
Yeah.
drove the wheels off of that thing. It was great.
Oh.
And then, but we had a nice, well handling car. And the second I'm driving on this road, I hated the tourists, even though I was one. Like, you guys and your fucking Toyota rental Camrys or something.
Yeah.
And we're here just bah, 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 and burn. Now we're falling. Oh no, corner, slow.
Yeah.
And then Andrew gets in this thing and he's just hanging it one wheel in the dirt as we're going across. We went up to a ski field there. Just to, I mean, there's no snow, but
yeah,
like we're
it's
up
close.
there. And then it got to dirt and we just, well, it's a Subaru, mate. Keep
Yep.
going. Keep ripping it. That was a fun day. It was so beautiful there. I got tired looking at the scenery.
Yeah.
Yeah. Will Downs. Hello, Will. Wouldn't be a podcast without seeing you. You need to take Juliet or Bryce to Sheets or Wawa. I prefer Sheets as it is close to the University of Mount Union and on Glaramorn Castle in Alliance, Ontario. We passed by a bunch of them. I don't know in our travels where we will end up at either one of them.
We passed like 3 sheets on the way up here. I remember,
Yeah.
I remember seeing a few of those.
I've seen plenty of sheets.
I only saw one
haven't
Wawa when we were driving around in here.
That was when you showed us the Wawa where we saw it. Other than
Yeah.
that, we've never seen a Wawa yet.
Yeah.
Wawa is like eastern Pennsylvania. Like right now, where you're here right now, you're in the battleground between Sheets and Wawa.
Yeah.
Maybe our bus will go into a Wawa as we're taking the bus
To New York?
New York.
When you go New York, the second you cross into Jersey, it's Wawa country. Sheets is
Oh.
gone.
Yeah.
The way it breaks down is this. Wawa is in more well-to-do areas. And I mean this just because it's factual. You will find Sheets in lower income areas by virtue that Sheetses require larger footprints. They need more land.
Yeah.
So they tend to build them where land's a little bit cheaper.
Yeah.
Because it's larger. I mean, there's room for semi-trucks there.
Oh.
Wawa's not quite.
So much. Right.
Yeah.
Higher end food, more cars. So you'll find them closer to cities where land prices are higher. It's just how the economy works out. So I don't know. On our way to Centralia, we could stop at the Sheets.
Yeah.
Oh, the other thing is when I'm with my uncle as well, we might go there.
Yeah.
You never know what we're doing with those 5 days.
Souderton. Yeah, down there. Well, you're gonna find both. You're gonna find maybe more Wawas than Sheets. Again, just a petrol station.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a Pennsylvania thing.
We went to Bucky's, so we may as well keep the Soul Petrol Station visiting thing going.
You'll probably walk in and you'll just see, oh, it's just a petrol station with a deli in it. Hurricane Ian. Yes, I've got your emails. Yes. Hi's up. You guys ready to drive the Hurricane? You are going to be a special trip for us. Yes, there are direct flights from Philly. The plan as I see it, Ian, is we still have yet to converse on the telephone. The plan is for me to arrange some other cars, at the very least one other, ideally 2 more. So it would be a 3-car shoot. Nick and I would have to fly out to you. In addition to filming your car, we would have to film 2 others. Which I haven't figured out yet. Right now we're moving into fall. We have some more film shoots coming up. Realistically, Ian, what I think will happen is now that we're moving into fall and my autumn film schedule is filled up, we're probably going to have to do it late spring, if that's okay with you. But thank you for your donation just to ask me that question when you could have sent an email.
So is that flying down to Philly to do 3 cows?
That's me driving down to Philly, getting on an airplane,
right.
flying somewhere else to film.
Oh, I thought you meant you were just doing it in
Yeah.
Philly. Never mind.
No, he lives out. He lives west of here. It's a Lamborghini Huracan.
Oh boy.
The H is silent.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to need a drink. I'm getting a little bit dry here.
Want me to grab you something?
Actually, you want to pour 2 scotches?
Well, Vice probably can do that part. Yeah.
And may I have one of the seltzer waters from the fridge? Watch the cable there. Thank you, Bryce.
Very majestic setup going here.
Connor Olive says, let me turn this camera.
That should work better. Put down it now?
Yeah. Connor Olive, and my glasses down there. I think the shenanigans are over. Back of the classroom, Barkers. I gave enough of you detention when I was a teacher. I don't have to spend time on you. Connor Olive said, ever read The Stranger by Albert Campus? I have not. Nick might have. No, he's still there. Well, I'm giving you attention. It's what you want. Ever read The Stranger by Albert Campus? Also, what are your top 3 favorite authors? I'm sorry I haven't read The Stranger by Albert Campus, but my top 3 favorite authors are going to be Theodore Dreiser. Thank you, Bryce. Theodore Dreiser in number 1. That's a lot of drinking. We may need to help you with that.
You can save it for another day.
Yeah, it's resealable if you don't want to drink anymore.
Imported from Spain.
Ooh.
Where'd the scotch get put?
Just search the cupboards. It'll be there. I think it's above the stove. Top 3 favorite artists.
Yeah. Click on that. The one that, one up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Ever read The Stranger by Albert Campus? Also, what are your top 3 favorite authors? Actually, you know what? I could probably add one of you guys as a moderator, and you can just shut those guys up.
Where's my phone going?
Cheers to that.
I can be pro moderator.
Yeah. I think all you have to do is like comment.
Yeah, and then I'll show up.
Yeah.
Here we go. Oh no, I've got ads.
Ads. Oh no. Ever read The Stranger by Albert Campus? What are my top 3 favorite authors? And thank you, Connor, for your generous donation. Top 3 favorite authors are Theodore Dreiser, Hammond Garland. Where are you? There you are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Try again. Technical difficulties. We'll get to those authors in just a moment.
There you are. Top 3 favorite authors. That will be Theodore Dreiser, Hammond Garland, and you know what? I'm going to go Jerry Spinelli just because I met the man. There we go. And thank you, Connor. Thank you for that. Zach Heilman says, "Can you?" Yeah. Now Sparky's on the case.
And thank man hammer.
and thank you, Zach, for thank you, Zach, for offering a donation just to take care of that. Nick Bellinger says something very similar, and now Sparky's on the case. Nope says the same thing. You don't have to give us money just to do that, but thank you. I mean, hey, cheers to that. Cheers. You're giving us drinking money.
Goofy.
Chrysler Aspen. Racecars.net. Hey, thanks again. Knackered the first super chat. What's your price to tell Tom's wedding story? See, people have been asking me to tell that story when I was at Tom's wedding reception. And there's the story that I started telling in a review, but then stopped.
Oh,
I told it once. It's so bad that it's cringy and sad, and there are some funny moments. It's sexual. It's cringy, sexual, and triggering, and eerie, and it all happened at one, and funny. It was Tom's wedding was amazing from start to finish. That was the low point, but it was also, from my perspective, a hilarious point. And the party continued the next day. I had my best Bloody Mary the morning after that. And my buddy Eric had like the best zinger to that story that I wish I could have repeated in the moment. God, that Bloody Mary had bacon in it. It was great. Yeah. Like a strip of bacon.
That just sounds nasty. This is
Honest,
dude.
I haven't done a Bloody Mary yet. I haven't had one yet.
I don't think I ever want to.
Then you don't need one. Yeah. I used to drink Bloody Marys on airplanes.
Yeah.
But then, a Bloody Mary is when you're trying to recoup your losses from last night.
Yeah, pretty much. Isn't it like tomatoes or something weird like that?
Tomato juice and vodka.
Yeah.
And like Tabasco sauce or something.
It's an alcoholic drink you drink in the morning.
Like a mimosa.
Yeah.
Worse.
Yeah. With like Tabasco. And I kind of like them because they're spicy and stuff. But if I'm drinking a Bloody Mary, it's because I fucked up last night. And now I don't really drink a lot. The weird thing is, like, I'll drink a lot of like scotch, but it's because you take it easy. You're the thing.
You're not at a crazy party where you just
you enjoy it.
Back.
Yeah.
All right, I'll have a sip of this.
The goal isn't to finish it before the guy next to you.
That's a good line. The goal is to not finish it before the guy next to you. Caleb Howard said, would a Honda VR 250 be a good first bike? Yeah, generally any 250 is a good first bike, unless we're talking about a 250 two-stroke running oxygenated gas. Yeah, then no. But yeah, a Honda VTR 250 is great. And thank you, Caleb, for your generous donation.
It smelled worse than it tastes.
Yeah?
Yeah, but the taste is actually kind of alright. But I sniffed it, I'm just kind of like, and then I taste it, I'm like,
Okay, I'm catching up here. I think this is when, okay. Sober Kennedy said, for the love of God, please turn on the slow chat.
We don't know how.
We'll figure that out. That's like a Google question, but thank you for your donation to tell us. Is that multivitamins or something else?
Results for like indigestion.
Oh, okay.
If you get heartburn.
What's heartburn feel like?
Acid coming up your throat.
Ew.
Yeah.
Look out this car. Take this and go buy a Charleston shoe. Again, I think. Did we talk about Charleston shoes?
We talked a little bit. They're like a nougat thing or something.
It's a chocolate covered nougat. Someone said.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Licky boom boom down. That sounds like something I'd say while I poop. Says Dustin Sando.
I don't think the word lick and poop should be in the same sentence.
You're perfectly not.
Brooks Young says, doesn't have a question, but thank you so much for your generous donation. We'll put it to very good use. What do we got? Are you guys going to review the Pontiac G8? I do want to get my hands on a Pontiac G8 because a Pontiac G8 is our Holden Commodore.
Ooh,
when they brought like the VT Commodore, like the V8 Commodore here, twice, General Motors tried to bring Commodores to the U.S. And both times they failed.
What years? Like
early 2000s.
Yeah.
and then like 2013, 2014.
2013, 14 model, I think, is the one I liked.
Yeah.
Had a real like nice look. Like it looked aggressive on the roads. They had a
Yeah.
really nice front to them.
Yeah.
But
The first time they did it, they rebadged it as a Pontiac.
Yeah.
They called it the G8. And then the second time they called it the Chevy SS. And they hardly changed anything from the Commodore. They just changed the badge to a Chevy. And in fact, everybody there's like a underground thing where people from the US will debadge their car. They'll take half of the body panels off and they'll swap it with either a Kiwi or an Aussie. Like, give me your Holden ones. We want yours. And like, well, we want yours because we want to drive around with us, have the
Body swap.
with it bodied out as the Chevy, and then we want to have a Holden badge. So
there could be a business in here.
yeah,
Grass is always greener.
just go to the wreckers and just buy Holden badges and ship them to the U.S. Hey, us Yanks will buy them. Look out this car. Feeling generous. Look out this car. 3-4 question marks. I'm feeling generous. Here's another $5 for providing us with free content for all the years, Brian. Oh, thank you so much. It's a pleasure. Jake Reynolds says, whatever happened to Kutztown Dragon? That's a name and an avatar that I buried like a good 15 years ago. That was when I was an edgy version of myself in like 2003.
Back when Brian was fun.
Edgy Brian was an asshole.
Are there some like career-ruining tweets back then to find out?
Oh, this was before Twitter.
Oh.
When was Twitter? Like 2004?
Yeah. I have no idea.
That's Web 1.0 stuff, dude. That's LiveJournal.
Oh.
Yeah,
this is before
I
me.
remember LiveJournal. I used to go on LiveJournal a little bit.
I don't know LiveJournal.
Oh, you had to know a little bit of HTML to do LiveJournal correctly, like embed pictures and stuff.
I didn't like do it. I just like read articles on it.
Yeah. So thanks, Jake, for the generous donation. That was a lovely romp down memory lane for that. CP Windsor Sub says, with $10 Canuckistan, Canadian dollars, and my caravan was wrecked and will likely be a write-off. My parents are offering me their 2014 200, and I think they mean Chrysler 200, with 40,000 miles. It's out of warranty and has 3 years of payments left. Ew. Is it a good deal or no? A Chrysler 200 is terrible. That is a rebrand. I wouldn't buy that for us. Anybody who leases or does payments on a Chrysler 200. Okay. Name for me like a car you get in New Zealand that if you buy it new, you are a moron. Like it is.
Nissan Cube.
Okay.
And this end cube.
Yeah, terrible.
Yeah, like if you walk by someone and they're driving a new one, like they bought it from a dealership new, and like it dropped like 10,000, 5,000, 10,000 instantaneously. It's worth nothing.
Well, any of the top cars,
pretty much every car does that.
Any car over $100,000 would do that.
If you're not buying a 4-wheel drive, it's going to drop like 5-10 grand instantly.
Okay. Yeah. A Chrysler 200 is no. To walk away from that instantly. Like I would rather drive a Honda Civic with 200,000 on the clock than drive like this Chrysler 200 with 40,000. Yeah. Because knowing that if I change a few things, my Honda will just keep going and going and going, like Toyota or something like that. No, I would walk away from that 200 immediately. Unless you're planning to just drive it until it breaks and do nothing, and then just take it to a junkyard and get $300 in scrap metal prices. That's all it's worth, man. No.
This guy's like, Nissan Cube is a good car.
It is. Maybe some people might not.
Are they like good for like wheelchairs and stuff? Don't people use
know.
I would take a Kia Soul over a Nissan Cube.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Soul was
I
great. He
rated-
was cute.
I liked the Kia.
Mm.
Like, it was an alright car to drive the Kia Soul. I was happy driving it.
Yeah.
But to me, it was like the cheaper version of a Subaru Forester.
Yeah.
And then Subaru Forester was a cheaper version of the Jeep.
Yeah.
It's kind of
Just-
like,
Oh,
it's working
I
your way
put
down.
I put a any Forester over a Jeep
Would you?
immediately. Yeah.
I just enjoy driving the Jeep. I thought it
Unless
was
we're
quite
talking about
nice.
the TJ Jeep. Like
Yeah.
the YJs and TJs for the 90s were pretty damn good, rust notwithstanding. But then Subarus had their rust problems as well.
Mm.
Like I'm looking at like my second generation Subaru Forester is about as off-road capable as a TJD as a base model TJ Jeep. And I'm saying that because my
Really?
uncle owned a Chrysler dealership. And if you bought a base model TJ Jeep in the 90s, it came with street tires. So that's my thing. It didn't come with the Wrangler TA tires, like knobby ones. It came with just tires, tiny wheels and tires. They have about the same ride height, and yeah. ISCA fan says, thanks for the great videos over the years, especially the Volvo 240 and the Porsche 944. You have to drive my 1966 912. Yeah, I want to drive a Porsche 912. If you're ever in Iowa City, Iowa. And yeah. Are you doing like sign language?
No.
Yeah. Oh,
No, I was playing with the mic. When you said Iowa, I'm like, are you asking me a question? Like, are we gonna go to Iowa?
I would love to drive a 19 excuse me. Regularcars@gmail.com. Your make, model, city, state in the title of the email, and in the body of the email, put your name, a phone number where I can reach you, and if so, a picture of a car, and I will do my best. Thank you, Iscan. Yes. Of course, I've been to Iowa. I've been to Eames, Iowa. I plan to come back. Iowa's a medium-sized state. Maybe we can make something happen. Nal Hagen says, longtime fan, first time catching up with you live. When will you come to Japan?
Ooh. We're going to Japan.
You are?
2020.
Well, it's going to be 2023 at this rate.
No, 2021.
Well, I thought we were doing
No,
Brazil in
we
2021.
can do both.
Okay.
2020,
Brazil and Japan in
2021 in January.
Really?
Well,
We're going to have to make some money.
That's some, we can make money.
RCR Japan 2022. We've decided it like 3 podcasts ago. We have 2 fixers. We're going to make it happen. So RCR Australia is 2021. RCR Japan is 2022.
All right.
RCR 2020.
That's really high up there.
So you could do America and Japan at the same time.
Good.
Rather than Brazil and Japan.
So Nal Hagen says, come to, I cannot pronounce this name. Kanzanwa?
Good enough. Carry on.
Kazanwa, and I'll hook you up. Keep up for the good work. Yeah, if you're offering to help us out and you're in Japan, like either an American expat or, you know, any really English speaker, honestly, because I am going to be an infant there in Japan. Please put the words Japan Fixer in somewhere in the email, because that's what I'm going to be searching for when we try to find our fixers. And a fixer is, and by the way, Bryce operated as a fixer in New Zealand. A fixer is the true term of what a fixer is a journalist that helps another journalist, someone who knows the lay of the land, the cultures, and everything, that helps a visiting journalist. But now it's sort of a general term as someone who says, hey, you know, travel with me, we'll keep you out of trouble, that sort of stuff.
Point you in the right direction.
Yeah. A guide, really.
Okay. Sherpa of New Zealand.
Yeah. And like, because like when I was at pubs and stuff in New Zealand, the culture in the US is if I'm drinking at a pub and I'm just paying for drinks as I go, you get the drink, you pay for it. But here it's like I take out another $1 and I just leave it on the bar. that's like the culture if you're just paying as you go.
Yeah.
And it's like was super weird for me not to tip down there. It felt icky and dirty. Like I was a bastard and
All
a bad
these years
person.
of being
They
like
get paid reasonably well for their job. I'm not going to say they get paid great, but they're not
Yeah.
getting paid like they're getting paid enough they can live off their job.
but even in America, the whole tipping thing seems way over the top, and it
Ooh.
seems more of a pressured into it sort of a thing a lot of the time.
Here's the thing. Like if
don't-
I'm going out to eat, it's me if like we just went out to my
Favorite.
really childhood friend's
Yeah.
restaurant.
Yeah.
He was at the bar, but he was busy talking to other people. If you're going out to eat in the US, you're showing off a little bit. I have enough money that we can, and someone's going to cook out for us. This doesn't apply to fast food.
Yeah.
We're going out to a restaurant. We're having a nice night. I'm going to, as your one friend that we met in Texas, say we're going to floss a little bit. We got to talk about that guy. That guy was a,
Floss? I don't know what that means.
you know, the guy who was wearing like Gucci and stuff. And was
Oh
hanging out?
yeah. I don't know
Yeah,
what floss means though.
Oh, that's what flossing is. Just flexing,
Oh,
Money.
flexing.
Flexing,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
conspicuous consumption.
Yeah.
God, what was it? He was a nice guy, but I
Yeah.
was like a little bit
He
like
was-
confused
he's
of what his
crazy.
deal was.
He's crazy. Yeah.
He was
He's just
fun.
Like,
He
he's
was
just
fun.
like on.
He totally was on.
Yeah.
I'm like,
It's
because
like-
we had a great conversation about watches.
Yeah.
Like I had this talk about should I buy a Rolex? But I'm not a Rolex guy.
Could I be that person?
Do I
Could
want to
you?
be
Could I
that?
be?
Like in LA, it's
Wait.
nothing
Let
to,
me
to
grab
roll
mine.
around with a
You're going
Rolex
to go
on.
Supreme.
Yeah. So
Hang
he
on.
got me this.
You have a Supreme wallet.
He got me this.
Oh, he got
he
you
got
that.
me this. Like, we don't wear brands anything, and he like went out of his way as a friend to be like, "You need this."
You need Supreme and Louis Vuitton.
And the Louis Vuitton.
You have a
wallet.
Louis
He's
Vuitton
gonna-
wallet?
Louis Vuitton.
This actually feels really nice.
It is. It's.
Right.
Here's your ASMR of a Louis Vuitton wallet.
You're knocking out its retail now.
no.
Retail value just trying to. Oh, he's crazy.
That's
though.
you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is 10-year-old.
You look like Adam Driver.
Who's Adam Driver?
Kylo Ren.
Oh! Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. I
He
can see
does.
that.
Shave that and grow your hair out, you look just like Adam Driver.
You know he did cosplay
I
as
did that.
Kylo Ren
Really?
last year, 2 years ago.
Dude,
And he tricked me into shaving my beard off. It was
Yeah, he's
horrible.
even shaved.
let me see that picture again. Let me see that picture again. Oh my God. Ah,
He's cute back then.
dude, you are a very handsome man.
I think people.
That was my bad year.
Do I give it? I think we gotta show it. Can you show it?
You got to cover up all the numbers and stuff.
Yeah. I don't want to get defrauded.
Dude, tell me that it's not Adam Driver right there.
Can you see it well?
Let me go down to the chat things. And, you know, we're on a delay, but tell me, dude, tell me that is not Adam Driver's driver's license. People are saying, who is Adam Driver? You're saying you're better looking than Adam Driver.
Oh,
Yeah, that is
one.
fucking Adam Driver. Is he related to Adam Driver? Totally looks like yeah. It's fucking Kylo Ren.
Kylo Ren in the
photocopy.
house.
Yeah.
Yeah, just shave this now. There you go. Go into the bathroom over there and go shave.
All right, guys. I need to put the sign up because
Oh, yeah, I'll
otherwise
grab
it'd be
it.
after.
grab it.
Okay. We got to do before we're done. Yeah, we're done with super chats right now. So
No longer accepting
Super
chat
chat
questions.
there is some scotch tape in one of
No,
the
it's not. We
drawers.
threw it
there.
away.
No, the other regular tape.
This one?
No, let's go down one.
Down one.
There we go.
Nice.
So we are going to take our leave of you for just one brief second because
You need a bit.
our New Zealand friends need to taste the
Oh, the
Oh,
pecan. No, the pie
Mm.
thing.
Shoe fly pie.
Shoe
Shoe
fly.
Don't worry, everybody who gave super chats. I will get to you right here.
No.
That just sounds so bad.
Shoe fly, like
you're trying to
shoe
shoot
fly, get
flies
away from it.
Yeah, that exactly is what it's
Like
talking
it's a pile
about.
of poo.
Yeah.
And you're gonna shoot the flies.
So, Dex Hunter number 1. I know you've been waiting for this one. Would you ever consider doing a North Carolina trip? I'd love to see a story of NASCAR's bootlegging past. Thank you for your time. My old English teacher uses your diaries for first-person point of view in class now.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Can't wait to bring the Z32 out now. My old English teacher uses your diaries for first person. Oh, I guess
Like
maybe
showing
as an
them to the
example
class,
of what a
yeah.
diary is. Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm honored.
that's cool.
North Carolina, as of now, I have no plans to go to North Carolina, but if I would go to North Carolina, it would probably be in the Triangle. I mean, you got the 3 cities there. There's a lot of great driving roads. And dude, Raleigh is a great town, and I love Raleigh. So if we come back, it would probably be there.
I got my phone.
All right. So, okay. Oddly specific question because reasons happen you. Okay. I know the answer to this question, Jake Renhold. I will get to it. But first, these guys need to sample the amazing cuisine that is the shoe fly pie. So I will prepare it for you guys. I will cut a slice for myself. I must leave the chat to you guys. So
Bryce, you can go in the hot seat.
I'll be back.
Do it. Get in the hot seat. You can go through the crash course history of all the cars Bryce has owned.
All the cars?
Yeah, you can start with the very first one. What was your first car you ever owned, Bryce?
A Nissan Pulsar.
Nissan Pulsar.
1989 Nissan Pulsar?
Yeah, and how long did that last for you?
About 6 months.
6 months?
Yep.
Right, and why?
I crashed into a tree.
All right, next car. Moving on.
Next car?
Yeah.
Subaru RS 1991, converted to rear-wheel drive.
Uh-huh. And how long did he last?
About 6 months.
Another 6 months. I actually don't know the time frames for these cars either because I wasn't dating you at the time. And how did he end his life?
It just got too expensive.
Oh, okay. So he sold it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I swapped it.
Okay. Oh, that was all right. He rested. Okay.
Yeah.
Next one.
A Honda Accord
Oh,
1994.
I do know this one.
Nope.
No, oh, never mind.
This was a silver Honda Accord that I swapped a piece of shit for it, so I got a piece of shit.
Right.
So I owned that one for about 2 months and then sold that one.
Were you getting all these on Trade Me?
Friends and
Yes.
Trade Me.
Yeah. Trade Me. Trade Me is like eBay.
Yeah.
Yeah. New Zealand only has one eBay or Craigslist, and it's just called Trade Me.
And then I got a Mitsubishi V6 Executive as a V3000 Executive. That was a 1988 maybe.
Yeah.
That was a very fun car.
And it lasted
6 months.
6 months. They don't break a year yet, do they?
No, they don't for a while.
All right. So, how did this one end? Because I can't remember.
So I tried doing a J-turn in the supermarket car park that I worked in.
Yep.
And
Countdown.
Yep. And in the process of having the car going sideways as I was spinning it around, thinking this is working great, I put it into the side of a trolley bay. So a big steel pole out of the ground and stove in the side door.
And this wrote it off, right? So
Yeah, it bent the chassis.
Too expensive to replace.
So I kept driving it for like 2 months because, why not?
I
And
do
then
remember
sold
you
it.
coming to my house in this car and the door not working
Yep.
at all.
Some great stories of cops pulling me over and just like being like, you know what, I'm just going to leave it.
I'm getting it fixed. Next car.
Next car was another Honda Accord. That
This
was
one I do
a 1990. No, that was a 2004 Honda Accord.
That's the one I drove.
2002 Honda Accord, I think. Moving back. No, it was 1994 Honda Accord, I'm pretty sure now.
Yep.
And VTEC Honda Accord. That was a great car. Enjoyed
Is this
that.
the one that I drove in as well?
Yes, you drove in that one.
This is the one that I actually learned how to drive stick in.
Yeah, you learned to
Because
drive stick in this
Bryce
car.
taught me how to drive stick when I was
Yep.
18 or 19.
2.5 litre V6
Yeah.
with VTEC engine.
Very nice car.
Very fun. Very good looking. And I put that one into the back of a milk tanker and then into a bank. Well, no, I put it into the bank and then into the milk tanker.
Yeah.
So going around a corner too fast, had it sliding, and goodbye.
Yeah. He didn't last very long either. Wait, no. Actually, how long was this one?
That one lasted 6 months as well.
No, really?
So in 3 years,
it longer than
no, in 3 years I went through 6 cars.
Sheesh. And what was the car after that?
Another Subaru Legacy.
Oh, this is that
But
white one.
this was just
It
the
looked kinda
standard
crappy.
boxer
It was crappy
engine.
looking.
Yeah, 1.8 litre engine, nothing to it.
Yeah.
And he broke the curse.
He broke the curse.
He
2
lasted
years?
a year and a half until I fried the engine.
Yeah.
And that was just because it overheated one day on me and
And
melted the
laziness.
distributor cap off it or something.
Oh, he's finished.
Mm.
Oh.
And then
Wait, where's my singing?
I got my Mitsubishi Galant, and that
Yeah.
lasted me.
Ooh, till now. Like we had it.
Yeah, we only got rid of the Mitsubishi Galant about a month ago.
No, less. Like 2 weeks. Oh, 3. Oh,
Yeah,
a
no, it'd
month
be
ago.
about a month ago we got rid of the Galant.
Ooh. Okay, these guys are about to experience the Pennsylvania
You want to jump
delicacy.
back over? Oh,
That is the shoe fly pie.
Ooh.
I'm honestly scared of this.
I'm hoping.
It looks scary.
Oh, what they are eating. I should probably cut myself a slice. I mean, I snacked a little bit on it when I was out there. It is.
You can eat the rest of mine. I'll
molasses-
I'll probably
okay.
take like 2 bites and
All right. It is molasses cake.
the crumble looks pretty tasty.
It's not as sweet as I thought it was going to be.
Not as sweet. It's pretty sweet. So what's in it? Like just molasses or
molasses and crumble,
what's crumble?
like
Just
flour,
bread
and
stuff.
bread. Yeah.
But it's not just molasses, is it? Like surely there's like other things in it.
No, I mean it was brown sugar.
More sugar.
More sugar.
There's like 5 ingredients in it. I made it once, but I wasn't able to have the wet bottom to it.
Mm.
It's like a heavier version of like coffee cake.
It's not actually too bad. Now that I had it,
No.
I'm not that afraid of it anymore. But there is a lot
It's
going
like-
on.
It's all right. It's nice. I'm happy eating it, but I'm also like, there's a dozen other desserts I'd choose over if I had the choice.
Yeah, true.
I gotcha.
Like if
I-
this was on the
I'm more
menu.
than happy if someone pulled it out for dessert. I'd be like,
Oh, yum.
yum, yep,
But if you're at a restaurant and there was like tiramisu,
yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta be like,
tiramisu.
I'm gonna have the tiramisu.
or affogato,
Mm.
or anything else.
Okay, that's my drink.
If you don't wish to have any more, put it in the fridge. I'll eat it.
I
I'll eat it while I edit.
might chew a bite every so often.
Okay. Did you have pumpkin pie ever?
Oh, my
Yes,
mum.
her
So
mum
my
makes
mum's American. My mum
pumpkin
is
pie.
American, and so she makes pumpkin pie. I don't like pumpkins though, so I
Ah.
don't eat it. But he likes it, and his
And my younger brother
His younger
loves
brother
it.
loves
My
it.
younger
Oh, I
brother
love
raves
it.
about it.
Yeah.
Like he waits for her mum to come back
Yeah.
to New Zealand to make him
The pumpkin pie.
pumpkin pie, and he'll just come over just
Man,
to have her mum's pumpkin pie. It's funny.
it is. Does he do it with whipped cream?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. May I have a sip of whatever that is?
Sure.
All right. So this is stuff this is like, oh, it's sangria.
Yeah.
So this is, oh, geez, sugar all day long.
Yeah.
We're all gonna get
Oh.
diabetes.
Will you pass me the sugar, please?
Ugh,
Sure, I
Is
shall.
it that bad?
sangria.
It's less sugary than the can you gave me.
Ugh.
Oh, that's pretty bad though. No.
Ugh.
It's 1 wine glass plus 1
Wine glass plus
one
one
wine
wine-
glass equals
Pretty
1
wine
Deso del
glasses.
Sol Mini. Wait, why
This
did
is
it say
just
mini?
this is just some lady from Wisconsin and New Orleans going,
Woo! It's 100% natural.
Oh.
Jake Reinhard says, I have this set of oddly specific, and thank you for your patience while we ate shoe fly pie and all this sort of stuff. Have this oddly specific amount because reasons. What happened to you in Kutz Dragons and Travels? See, the story with that YouTube channel, I can't delete it. I'd love to, but it's connected to my university email. But I graduated a long time ago, and now that email doesn't exist. So I can't log in. It's gone.
My friend had that same problem.
So those old videos are just there.
Yeah.
They're my version of we'll do it live. But, you know, whatever. You know, they're there. Some of them are kind of funny. Most of them aren't. It's just College Brian. There you go. The end. You know, the funny thing about some of those videos is, dude, they were shot with a fucking Canon XL1. I owned one of those cameras because I thought I was going to be a movie maker. So I'm like,
you are a movie maker. Look at you. You are a movie maker.
You're right. The funny thing is, like, my lesser camera, my D5300, shoots way better video than the XL1 does. But the XL1 was like this 3-chip mini DV, badass over the shoulder camera, this huge lens. You look like a pro holding it. But the thing is, I didn't really know like photography theory. So the stuff I shot with it wasn't that great.
But you tried.
But
it made you into who you are today.
Yeah. The camera taught, like, toward the end, I got pretty good with the XL1. But at that point, like, solid state media really, like SD cards really finally caught up to tape. So there really wasn't any reason to shoot on mini DV anymore. And nowadays, you couldn't pay me to shoot on mini DV. The idea that you had to film something and then hook it up to your computer plus play on that thing and capture it in real time instead of just
I don't even know what you're talking about. That's beyond me.
Oh, let me weave you a tale.
What's happening?
Imagine instead of just shooting a bunch of video and just transferring it to your computer and doing something else, no. You have to hook your camera to your computer. If you're lucky, you're having FireWire, which no one uses FireWire anymore. I think it's IEEE 94. And I see the super chat that just came up. Thank you for offering, even though we're no longer accepting it. This is not the nice episode. This is technically not an RCR episode because Nick isn't here. We will have the nice episode. We are kind of waiting for Tony Airlines to come back from Japan. So he will be here for the nice episode, which is episode 69.
Ooh, nice.
So this is not episode 69 of RCR. You must have liked something. You ate the whole thing.
The whole thing.
Actually, I'm more than happy to eat it.
Go Kylo
Ren. Anyway. So yeah, the Canon XL1. So anyway, okay, you take your camera, you connect it to your computer. But now the tape has to rewind to the beginning and start playing. So if you have like a half an hour of footage,
it's going to take half an hour.
Half an hour to transfer.
And then what is it transferring into on your computer?
It has say like Vegas has to interpolate that footage.
Gotcha.
And if that program crashes, you're fucked.
Really?
You have to start again.
It screws it up on the camera, or is it taking it off the camera?
It's taking it off the camera.
Permanently taking it off the camera.
No, it's not
making a copy.
Oh, it is making a copy.
Okay.
But it's making.
So if it crashes, you could try again, but you have to start from the beginning again.
Yeah.
All right.
It sucks.
I'm glad I was born after that era.
And it's one file too. So thank you, Jake. Thank you for that question. What was the donation? 1023, odd number, but thank you. Mr. Duckhead says there's a guy in the chat spamming. I know what the dude's going through because I've been there. I've been one of those guys who would spam chats and like way worse than what he was doing. You know? I mean, that was back when Jackass was on TV, and I was an impressionable young 21-year-old, which is a weird thing. And like, I've met other people from other countries where, like, the idea of a 21-year-old drinking age. Like, I met this one guy from the UK who said it's really weird to come here and see 21-year-old people acting like they're 18.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, like, he said it was fine having an 18-year-old drinking age because people would get out of their system by age 19 or 20.
Nah, because you have an 18-year-old drinking age and everyone starts drinking at 15.
Yeah, it kind of
That's what
backslides. It
happens in
goes
New
back.
Zealand,
Yeah,
like-
it slides back
We
further.
walk out on town to go drinking, like, well, I haven't been out in town for ages, but when I did,
Yeah.
there'd be 16-year-olds just hanging around the bars or, like, trying to drink on the street. And it's like,
So I guess in America,
not
you'd,
even
you'd
ready
have the
to go to
opposite.
the
You would have
bars yet.
18-year-olds who are trying to sneak in, but maybe
Yeah,
not.
that's
but
like all
maybe-
the movies are
yeah,
about
but
high
probably
school.
not 16-year-olds.
yeah.
No.
So,
So you get the backside. If
yeah.
18-year-olds are drinking, then 18-year-olds are buying their younger siblings drinks as well. So it goes all the way down to 15. So if you lower it again, it's just going to lower down further again.
I see.
And in terms of, well, at least in New Zealand, the 21-year-olds still act like 18-year-olds when they're drinking anyway.
yeah,
so-
true.
I know 25-year-olds who still act like 18-year-olds when they're drinking.
Yep. Maybe they mature at 30.
Yeah.
30, the magic number.
We haven't reached that yet.
No, we were doing all right. You got out of it.
Did we ever find out who the name of that person was we met when we were tramping out in the mountains the first time I came to New Zealand?
I think I remember who you're talking about. And we chat with him for a bit.
Yeah, and
he
I
was
could
bigger-
understand.
Big burly guy, and he used to live with us or something like that.
And I understood like 20% of what he said. It was the
Yeah,
heaviest
that was
Kiwi
Gavin.
accent. Gavin.
Yeah.
Gavin.
Gavin.
Yeah, I met him at the gym again as well.
Yeah.
He just like pops into my life randomly.
I know.
Like,
Both
we're
of
doing
us.
something and just like shop. And
Oh,
like,
Gavin shows
whoa.
up.
Hey Gavin, he's like, hey bro, and we have a catch up, figure
Like-
out where each other's gone, then
Like
see
we
you in
didn't even
another 2 years.
we didn't even live together with him. Like it was just
We
like
lived together.
we were in a flat, and he was in the flat, kind of like on the same property, but not in the same house.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we were only like that for a couple of weeks, to not even,
a month. I
maybe-
think we lived
maybe
next
a month.
to each other for a month.
if that.
But just
Yeah.
every time we see each other, we recognize each other. Like,
Hey,
Oh.
Gavin.
Oh,
How you doing? How's your dog?
he's your hey guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not like weird or annoying when you meet him. It's
Yeah.
just like,
it's time to catch up and figure
hey,
out, and
then you just go on.
Oh.
Yeah.
you're like another 2 years.
Did
But
he-
that's what we were doing when you met him. It was just like,
Hey.
Hey,
Did you have? Did he have a dog with him?
yeah.
Okay.
He had it with him
Yeah,
that time,
he did
right?
because he had it as a puppy. We met it as a puppy. Like you got the puppy.
Do you
when we
remember
were
its
living
name?
with him.
Do you remember what it was? It wasn't Chopper, was it?
It was actually.
It
would've
was
been
Chopper. I got it. I got it
Because
right.
you had Tahi with you as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess the dogs got along all right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to catch up with all these. Sorry. What a problem to have, all these super chats. Yeah. Gosh darn it. I'm sorry. We're gonna be here till midnight. If I get through
I don't
all
even know
these
it.
things.
Oh, 11:16.
You got plenty.
Yeah, right.
Ugh.
Sparky, if you have to do something, or Juliet, I
if
alternate
I
between
have
the
to
two
do,
names.
I don't have to do anything.
Oh, that's good.
We're on holiday.
Yeah.
We're just having fun.
So I'm
my
trying to catch my
editing
face.
that I have to do is just like, whenever.
Oh yeah, I was looking at your laptop over there. Sam B says, "Thanks for the great vids. Thumbs up. Please kill the spammer." Yeah, whatever.
I don't even
I-
see it. Oh, is it this?
Do you remember like fugly.com? I used to post on that back in the day, so I know how it is.
Ugly.com.
Fugly.com. That's going deep.
I
We're
had
talking
Bebo.
Bebo?
Bebo. No, maybe Bebo was just New Zealand thing. I think it was like your MySpace.
Okay. Bebo.
Bebo?
People in the
I remember
chat
Bebo.
might
Yeah,
know.
of course.
Yeah.
Bebo. Someone just said message redacted, but thank you for 99 cents. Cam Mabin doesn't have a question, but thank you for your generous donation. Thank you. You're helping the show going, helping us get to Australia in 2021.
Side trips in New Zealand?
I think, honestly, I'm sorry to say that our Australian trip will be just Australia. We'll either fly into Sydney or Melbourne
Yeah.
and then get our filming in and do a bit of driving. It'll probably be at very least 2 weeks.
Do you reckon you'll
then-
work the entire 2 weeks, or would you have some breaks in between?
What I foresee happening will be we arrive, we'll have a day of rest. We'll then get the filming out of the way in the beginning.
Mm.
It'll probably be 2 days worth of filming like we did New Zealand the first time.
Mhm.
We'll probably film 4 cars
In 2 days.
in 2 days, yeah.
Mm.
So that'll be a marathon
Yeah,
2 days.
Yeah.
Mm.
But then after that, we'll just relax. And we'll probably do some point of view filming, a little bit of a travel log. I'd really like to meet up with Blair and Marty, the guys from Mighty Car Mods. Depending on their schedule, I'll shoot them an email. If they're around, great. If not, whatever. I mean, when YouTubers get together, we just kind of talk about, hey, how's sponsors and this or that. We're trying to find some common ground. But they've been at the game. Like, I've been watching Mighty Car Mod since like when I was in Alaska. Like, I'd get real excited when they would post a video. Anyway, hey, Workforce 520 wouldn't be a podcast without you. Thanks for responding to my text. What is the furthest west I'll see? What is the furthest west I will see Sheets or Wawa? Well, that's 2 different questions. When I drive from New York to LA next year. Sheets are going to disappear in Pennsylvania. You
Really?
won't see really any of them past Pennsylvania.
All right. Gotcha.
Wawa will, excuse me, I got mixed up. Sorry. Wawa will disappear in Pennsylvania. You won't see Wawa outside of Pennsylvania. Sheets will continue further into Ohio, but after that, it may turn into Get Go or something like that. And after that, the Midwest doesn't
confirm.
The Midwest doesn't really do big gas stations, big petrol stations, with the exception of Texas.
Mm. Well, check what is it called again? Buc-ee's. That was in like Louisiana.
Went all the way to Florida.
Mississippi.
No, there's one in Florida as well.
You saw Buc-ee's in Florida?
Yep.
Sure.
Just as we got into Florida,
But you know how Florida's really long.
Yeah. The
So it was
panhandle
pretty
of
much
Florida.
in Alabama, like
right
next to Alabama.
I want Sheets burritos. Yeah, Sheets burritos are pretty good. But again, when you're talking about burritos, all 3 of us were in Texas, and like Tex-Mex burritos knock everything. So, Nope says go to Oregon and drive a B is for build car. Oregon, I was in Portland once. I'd love to go back again. Fred from Down the Rabbit Hole lives out there. I'd kind of like to go out there.
Where's he live?
Portland, or like in the area. I don't know the specifics. I only met the man once. The funny thing is, he's going to be in Connecticut this weekend, but we're hanging out.
Yeah.
So, oh well. Sorry, Fred. Anyway. Rex says, I'd like to say I drove across the country from LA to Orlando. Well, that's down. From LA to Orlando to grab a Wawa hoagie because I do. That's some serious commitment, Rex, and thank you for your generous donation. LA to Orlando just to grab a Wawa hoagie?
That's some crazy dedication.
Yeah.
That is crazy dedication.
How many hours
I think
are
we
you
got
talking?
a lot of long haul truckers in here, so I think there's an asterisk to that. William Bezetsky, and I think I'm pronouncing your name right. William Bezetsky, I hope it's a Polish name. Thank you for $10. Hey, Mr. Regular, do you have any nostalgic or fond gaming memories? Yeah, Final Fantasy VII. I mean, I was in
comes out.
I was in high school when
Yeah.
that came out on PlayStation, and I remember getting a ride to the Frackville Mall, which is also called the Schuylkill Mall. We're better than ever. We're better than ever for you.
Close down.
Yeah, they're demolished. It's a hole in the ground now. And I remember going. I did not have a check card,
Yeah.
I just had an ATM card, which all it meant was I can go to an ATM
and pull some money out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I remember I got my money and I was running toward electronics boutique, video like software store, which pretty much meant video games. And I remember they were pulling the gate down, and I went underneath that. I need my copy of Final Fantasy VII PlayStation. Here's my money. I'm like, all right, here's your money. Like, yeah, I got it. And then I think we were going to like watch some movie at the mall later, and I kept it in my coat pocket. And I came
Did
home.
you ever get into that?
Final Fantasy?
Yeah.
Nah.
No, never.
No, it's ones like Halo. What was it? Medal of Honor. Really like those games. Before Call of Duty took over, Medal of Honor was great.
I played Medal of Honor 1 on PlayStation, and that was it.
I think I did 1,
Final
2,
Fantasy is
and
where
there
it's
was another
at.
one that came
You
out.
missed the boat. Final Fantasy, bruh.
So yeah, fond gaming memories of Final Fantasy VII, Age of Empires 2, the Conqueror's expansion.
I currently have that on my laptop.
Yeah.
I've been playing it for a while.
Dude, if you
Wanna play
need
some Age of Empires?
if you need to waste a solid 45 minutes, it'll be gone instantly playing that game. I would usually play as the Britons.
So I've been enjoying the Huns at the moment. There's no housing. I'm like, that's just so handy. Not having to build houses.
They build houses really fast?
No, they don't have to.
You get
unlimited population. Unlimited population of Huns.
Oh.
Very handy.
Persians have elephants.
Elephants.
The war elephants?
Yeah.
I think if you play as Vikings, you're cheating. Because all their elites heal themselves.
Oh.
So you can like hack, and run away, and then they'll heal and then run back.
Come back.
Yeah. God, Age of Empires. So yeah, fun gaming memories of Final Fantasy VII and Age of Empires through the Conqueror's expansion. Clint, thank you for your donation. I have $35,000 in car money.
I'll take it.
I've been leaning toward a second generation Viper. Can you get those for 35 grand? I kind of thought they'd be more expensive. What better alternative comes to mind? A fuck ton.
No.
You can drive whatever you want when you're in Colorado. Yeah, dude. I mean, all right. You want a Gen 2 Viper? Vipers are very entertaining. I will concede that. They are a nice now and then car. $35,000 gets you almost any classic American car you want.
So you say
look,
go classic then?
The thing is, though, if you want a Viper, you have to have one.
I don't even know what they are.
Okay. The Viper is the automotive equivalent of a penis pump.
All right, I'll Google it.
Yeah.
The penis pump or the Viper?
Well, they both accomplish the same goal.
Viper.
A Viper is a guy who stuffs socks down his pants and then goes to the pub.
Is
you just saw what a Viper looks like.
Thing?
Yeah.
It looks like a race car with two stripes down the middle.
It's a guy who takes a zip tie, ties it around the base of his dick so his veins show up more.
So what if a chick buys one then?
Well, she is a dick too.
You know what? I'd drive that. I'd own that. That's sick.
It's a V. It's an 8-liter V10 engine.
Yeah, it's got a cool name, Viper.
Viper.
I like snakes.
It's too front heavy for me.
All right, dude. Clint, like if you want a Viper, man, I'm not going to steer you away from it. Go get it and have fun.
You do you.
You do you. Jerk off on an airliner across the Atlantic. Lord knows I've been there. James Murphy says, "Thank you for your generous donation, James. Thank you." There's a heritage railroad in Maryland called Western Maryland Scenic Railroad. And I'd pay you a few $100 if you can drive one of their diesel locomotives for a morning. Can we get regular train reviews? Regular train reviews has been something that people have been kicking around and asking me to do for a long time. there
you
are
like trains?
no.
No.
Logistical problems exist in me actually operating a locomotive. There are so many laws against it.
Mm-hmm.
There are so. You?
He did. It was his
Really?
job. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was his
Yeah?
job.
They're about this by this, and I sat in it, and it had one lever for forward and one lever for back. I drove the little ones around the park for the kids to ride on.
And then
Ah.
So I
you pay
drove
$1.
One was a petrol one, and the other one was actually we had a proper steam engine there, and we had guys who came down and did the steam engine.
Yeah.
And so I'd let me drive the steam train around the tracks for them as well. Good times.
You're you're like, what? And then you're just like,
Man, we're 1/3 through this bottle. Amazing. Not tea bag.
So you could do regular miniature train reviews.
Could do miniature train reviews. There will be a miniature train when we go to Knoebels. Probably. That's this Friday.
Ooh. There's trains there?
Yeah, there's 2 of them. There's
Cool.
like a mini one. There's a
make
mini
sure
one and
I'll
then like
record.
a mini.
You get in the
one.
front
Yeah.
of that, and I'll record it.
Like, I like the idea, and it's not just driving the train is a logistical nightmare for RCR. It's that there are laws against standing near the train tracks when a full-size train goes by.
Yeah.
So trying to find a way to film it, I don't
Mm.
freaking know. Eventually, on a long enough timeline, we're going to do a train somehow. But the thing is, we'd have to have
Do it in India.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yes.
Laws? Question mark?
Oh, that'd be great.
Oh.
Okay, I'm trying to find my place here.
And you'll have like 50,000 passengers on this train too.
Oh, there's a good question about 90s rap in there. That's a good question. I'm looking forward to that one.
People's lives to do a RCR episode.
Stars, still trying to find my place here.
Yeah, they're good.
Educators are cool. John Backman, Evos. Okay, there we are with Maryland. So yeah, I'd love to do a train. It's permission from the railroad manager and like supervisors and foremans and all that stuff.
Probably a ton of
So many
paperwork.
people you'd have to go through.
Yeah.
Are your trains privatized over here, or do they mainly government run?
A combination of the 2. Amtrak is the government one.
Yeah.
And then like there's the local run here is Reading and Northern Railroad, and that's privatized. I don't know the owner, but I know his assistant.
Yeah.
He's also a car guy. Like the assistant, the owner is a car guy, has like 75 cars in a museum and everything like that, and also a private dealership, which is a whole nother thing. I'll have to explain what a private dealership is. Kind of a tax shelter. But it's still a functioning business.
Yeah.
But
He's just hiding assets to hold cash.
he's not hiding it. They're right.
Whoa.
Mueller's
Hiding cash and assets that can't be.
I've never met the man, so I'm talking out my ass here.
Okay.
I'm sorry. He's a great guy. I've met his assistant and everything like that. But the guy who owns the rail yard, it is still a private rail yard.
That would be your best shot. Private railway yard.
Yeah. But none of them are never really private. The government's got
its hand in there
the
pretty
government's
well.
poking the lime down
Yeah.
a little bit. Have you or Nick been to Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio? No, but I've heard of that amazing theme park there. Cedar Point. I love roller coasters. I can only ride like 3 a day because I get motion sick. So when we go to Knoebels, I can ride like 3 rides, and then
So do one right at the beginning, one in the middle, one at the end.
Yep.
He's a bit like me.
Yeah.
Hopefully their rides don't try and make me impotent.
Yeah.
Nuts are still recovering from the last theme park.
That was Kentucky Kingdom. Yeah. Pretty hardcore rides there.
Oh yeah. It's not built for people who are bigger than like small people.
I think we're not. I remember I read one of the rides.
Man,
It even
I've
had
got
height
so many
restrictions.
questions to
Yeah.
answer. First world
you could always
problems,
do
right?
you could do what do you go
Quick fire.
quick fire
Yeah.
question review. I mean
Yeah, it is. I gotta. Oh, this thing keeps going right to the bottom every single time. Yeah, so I keep having to scroll back up to find my place. Sorry, guys. This is why when Nick is here. What are you doing, Bryce? I'm just
He's playing with his watch.
All right.
Gonna have to take this
Hi,
away
Dad.
from
I have to
you.
get
Gonna
to
have
that
to take
one.
this away.
What is the
don't
90s
even know
rap
how to
album?
work
There's that one again. Something moderators. Next video, something Kyle. Some of the rate interest in cars, educators, Jack Bowman. Do you think Evo? Where am I again? Okay, there's James Murphy. Got you about train reviews. Talked about that for a while. Scrolling back down, Mr. Duckhead again with New Zealand.
Yeah, no, that's the same guy. Yeah.
He spent so far like $20
Wow.
NZ just
Yeah.
asking us questions. Thank you so much.
Because we're his people.
Yes. They're the Kiwis.
How many other people? I mean, I'm getting off track here, but
Yeah,
now I have my
answer the
thumb on
question.
it.
Answer the question.
Answer the question. Mr. Duckhead, what do you think about early generation Mitsubishi Evos will go up in value? Here's the thing. You're in New Zealand. You always had the Evo. We didn't get it until like the Evo 8, the Evo 7 or Evo 8th generation. We didn't get all the other ones. So the old ones are going to skyrocket in value as they become legal in the US. So hang on to your old Evos and sell it to Yanks who are stupid enough to buy these things for like I recently I drove a kind of hot hatch from the 90s that you would look at and say, hey, that's neat. All right, moving on. That someone bought for $12,000. $12,000 US, like an old Nissan from like 93.
20K New Zealand.
Yeah. For a Nissan from 93.
Yeah. Ooh.
Trying to do the calculations in your head.
My money.
So because of our 25-year rule, we are starved for old performance cars. So we will pay top dollar.
Every year you get another year's worth of cars that you can import.
Yeah.
That's a weird way of doing it.
Here's how the law breaks down. It has nothing to do with legality or everything. It has to do with safety.
Mm-hmm.
Once a car is 25 years old in the US, it's considered a classic. Once it's classic, it's considered you don't have to worry about safety anymore. So if a car has the potential to be registered as a classic,
you can import it.
You can import it. Canada is 15.
Yeah.
So what most enterprising people do who have a warehouse will go to Japan, Australia, maybe New Zealand, but they'll be Canadian. And they'll buy 15-year-old cars and they'll just hold on to them.
Yeah.
And the second
it turns
that
over
10
and
years
like,
goes, Yanks are like, gimme, and they're like getting paid today.
Not a bad idea.
So you want to sell them? Old WRXs, old Subaru WRXs. Now the next year I think is 94.
Anything in New Zealand that's 94 WRX has been fresh to the guts. Boy races have just freshed those things. Any Subaru in New Zealand has been freshed. If it's got a turbo, a Boy Race has had it, and it's been.
Oh damn!
Yeah, it's hard to find good. I like Subarus. My RS was my favorite car to drive.
Yeah,
rear-wheel drive, turbo.
How is it only rear-wheel drive?
Converted. So it was an all-wheel drive. The guy who had it before me converted to rear-wheel drive.
What did he do besides just yank the half shafts coming out of the?
I don't know exactly what he did, but I was told it was legal.
And you're like, okay.
I was like, you know what? I want to drive this car. It's fun. And so I had great times in that car. And then eventually I decided, it got too expensive and needed a lot of work for the warrant. And also that came up and proving it. I was like,
go away.
Done.
Yeah.
John Blackman doesn't have a question, but thank you for your donation. We've got Sober Kennedy saying educators are cool. Have a money. Thank you. Even though most of my registrations have been retired, I like to think of myself.
What do you call this channel? This is an educational channel.
Hell yeah, it's education.
See? Still going at it.
Ronnie, hey, another Kiwi with $5 NZ. Hey, what are some of the more rare or interesting cars that you have driven? Um, Speaking of New Zealand, the Nissan. Oh, what was that little piece of shit that I liked?
You liked it, but it was a piece of shit.
Nissan. Dude,
Don't say a Sunny. Don't say a
It
Sunny.
wasn't a Sunny. It had big
Okay.
round headlights.
Skyline?
Early 2000s. Well, we did drive a Skyline while we were down there, but we made a point that it was not good. It was like a 4-door automatic. No, it was manual, but non-turbo.
Yeah.
Just to prove that Americans, they think Skyline. When Americans think Skyline, what they're really thinking of is the GTR.
I hate them. I look at the back of them and I see the lights on them. And I'm just like, that looks like someone took those elements off my mum's stovetop and put them on the back of your car. It's like, it just annoys me.
I'm
sure they're a nice car, but I don't like the headlights on or
I think the style
them.
looks alright, but
Oh,
what other Nissans are there?
I don't.
I'd have to look back at
Yeah.
it.
Celica?
No, it's like a little economy car, a little bubble car.
Oh. I know the one you're meaning now, but
Yeah.
I cursed if I knew the name of it.
If you have your phone, you can just go RCR Nissan, and then it may be there. I think it was shot at a beach on the North Island,
Piha?
near Piha. It wasn't Piha. I know it wasn't Piha. Or was it Piha? Piha is where they had that television show, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't Piha.
Okay.
It was a different one. You're looking it up?
Oh, Maxima.
No, it wasn't a Maxima. That was a US.
Oh, right. You drove one of them once, Maximus. That was an alright car.
Micra. We didn't get the Micra in the US. That was interesting to me. So that was Nissan Micra in New Zealand. Also, their paddock basher.
Oh, the Glant.
Yeah.
My longest lasting car. I only got rid of it a month ago.
It still drove.
Yeah, I drove that thing.
We drove. We hadn't started it since
you
year.
drove it,
Since
we
you
had
drove
started
it.
it, and we got it going.
We gotta go. Yeah.
And drove it about 50 k's to my friend's house.
It cut out
a few times.
Yeah.
I think the battery was completely gone in it, so we had to jump start it every time
as soon
it
as the
stalled
rev
out.
count goes low, it cuts right out. Like all the electronics and it just go.
And then we had a game. So took to my mate's property in a hill. We had a game driving it up the hill to see if we could get it to the top of the hill and park it up there without it stalling.
Yeah.
So we just did that about 20
I
times.
tried 3 times.
Oh, no,
I did 3 times. You did 2 and 3 in the end.
Yeah.
I think. So 6 times.
6 times, and I got it up there.
Yeah.
Someone just says Sparky has leveled up. Insert large calibration or insert large celebration. I don't know what that means.
I've leveled up.
Yeah.
Oh.
Kyle Morgeese says, can't wait to see you folks again for your next video shoot soon. Oh, Kyle. I watch these live streams all the time, but usually I just lurk and Kyle with the blue taco. Oh, okay.
Someone you know?
Yeah. We shorten the Toyota since we don't have the high ace.
Yeah.
We shorten the Toyota Tacoma. We just call them tacos. Toyota taco. So yeah, it's Kyle with the blue taco. Yeah. Good to see you, Kyle. Your video did very well. Like Toyota has, once they came out with the Toyota TRD Pro, it was very sort of angry off-road ute. Because we never had the Falcon ute here. Kind of the Toyota took over, which is an odd car to take over, like to fill the gap of what. So the people who get the Toyota TRDs, the Toyota Racing Development, you know, the guys who get like utes, but like the really high end ones and never put a damn thing in the bed.
There's lots of people like that.
Yeah. That's not to knock Kyle, but it's kind of like if you buy a Honda or Toyota TRD, is like that's an expensive truck, and usually you look at them, the bed
use it.
The bed liner is perfect. That's the same sort of people, but again, then they have this truck and then you see it for sale, and sometimes it's like as much as a new car. Yeah. Like occasionally, like I'll see you'll see someone who has a Ford F-150 and it's spotless. And I'm like, did you just buy that and never use it? Yeah.
It's weird.
Sam B says, and also, for Sam B, thank you. Welcome. You've become YouTube's first paid chat moderators. Oh, I think they were referring to you when you were like moderator. So. Yeah. Thank you for your donation. Thank you so much.
That was a while ago now.
Yeah, you showed me how
we're
far
going
I'm
through these chats, eh?
David Emerson says, okay, if we're doing authors, what would Joyce's favorite modern car be? Look, the guy didn't get around. Like James Joyce's favorite car would be a Metro Pass. He seemed to be a guy who was resigned to fate and who was resigned to the world. He did not seem to write any character that had a definite sense of agency, in that they were more inclined to watch the world go by. And that's a person who rides public transportation. If they had to have a car, they would have a Chevy Impala without even the 3800 engine. It would have the 3200 engine that they just imported from their mother, who finally like smoked herself to death. Hospice care and then death, and then they get her freaking white Chevy Impala. So yeah, James Joyce, white Chevy Impala, Chevy 3200 engine in it. Thank you for your donation. You really got my answer out of that one. Jake Noble says, what are your favorite 90s rap albums or songs? Okay, I've been waiting for this one. The Low End Theory by Tribe Called Quest. Let's be honest. 36 Chambers by the Wu-Tang Clan. And now, is this a rap album? I say it is. Whitey Ford Sings the Blues by Everlast, or Whitey Ford, depending on what you want to talk about. Those are three really good rap albums. Do we want to add Paul's Boutique to that? Sure, why not? L Communication, let's have Beastie Boys twice. So yeah, that's a pretty solid mix there. You know what? Let's take L Communication off there, just because I tried to listen to it on the treadmill, and I'm like, these are kind of juvenile. Whereas Paul's Boutique is definitely their Maladroit album. That's a good question. Do you guys like 90s rap?
Yeah, but I'd probably...
I have a hard time figuring out the definitions for different albums and songs.
All I'm thinking of is Slim Shady at the moment.
Does that count?
You were born in 1993?
1990 and 1991.
Okay.
But it's more like the genres and the genres, like trying to figure them all out. I get
definitely Beastie Boys, Wu-Tang Clan for sure. Trying to think of other ones.
Is Eminem considered rap of the 90s?
Well, I'm trying to think of who was late 90s, because I didn't really get into music until I was like 16, and by then it's like a bit 80, of a...
What year was that?
That would have been 2006, so...
Dude, I was already a teacher by then.
Yeah, but we're just like maturing enough to appreciate music. You could have been
teaching me if I was in the US.
Yeah, I legitimately could have been your literature teacher.
You would have hated me.
Yeah. Did you just not do homework and not care?
Yeah, I just didn't do anything.
You were that guy. You're just a cactus plant in the seat.
If I showed up.
Triscuits, which reminds me of Triscuits. Doesn't have a question, but thank you for your donation. It just says, people are saying Easy E in there. How could I remember? And Biggie Smalls. But thank you for your donation, sir. Thank you. Spencer Quickla. Spencer Sweekwa. What are your thoughts on the 2004 Nissan Versa? Ask Tony Airlines. He drives one. I think it's a terrible car. Look, it goes. If you like driving You can't even
Wow.
afford the shoe. You're just walking around in 2 shoe boxes. That's where that car is, man. Look, the Nissan Versa runs great until you have $1,000 problem, then you get rid of that car. 2014 Nissan Versa. Nissan is the lesser of all the Japanese manufacturers right now, which is sad because they used to be so great. Like my hierarchy of Japanese manufacturers goes Toyota, Honda, Subaru, Nissan. You know, Isuzu doesn't really exist anymore. Mitsubishi. So 2014 Nissan Versa. It's a rental car. It's a base rental car. Drive it until it explodes and more, not one tear for that car. My thoughts on Nissan Versa, there isn't any.
Also, oddly, the car that we've picked every time for our rentals and never received yet.
Yeah, true.
Nissan Versa?
We'll go on to the rental company. We pick the cheapest rental car and be like, Nissan Versa or similar.
Yeah.
Never received one yet. We've had like Subaru Soul, Kia Soul, the Jeep
Compass.
Yep, Jeep Compass and the
Chrysler Pacifica.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But never this basic crappy car. Like,
I'll bet
what you're getting. They upgrade us every time they upgrade us, like for free.
We don't have any more.
Yeah.
Like people get them. I'm like, fine, that's the cheap gas. That's the most fuel efficient thing. We'll take it. And then they don't have it. Well, we'll upgrade you to something better that uses more gas.
Oh, but we don't care because the gas is cheap as chips for us here. So we're just like, this is a fun car to ride and it's bigger. I'm taking it.
And finally, the big donator, Prisoner 24601. That may be a reference to something. I don't know.
What was that?
Prisoner 24601.
No.
Maybe it's as a Star Wars reference.
Could be something, but
and thank you for the nice donation. Special place in my heart for you, former teachers. My mom has been a teacher for 31 years now. I know the heartbreaking stories, coworker drama, and bureaucratic nonsense. Glad you're enjoying your current work and thank you for your videos. Oh, thank you so much, sir. Ma'am, they, person, human, resident of the planet Earth. Thank you. Your money will be well spent on keeping the channel going. Thank you. Nope has a question. When will you have Dan Arnitz on? Dan Arnitz is a fictional character. He's basically off of a real person that I haven't seen in maybe 5 years. I hope to see him again soon. I know his brother. And in fact, both of him and his brother were both co-workers of mine. I miss that guy dearly. I hope to have him on someday. In fact, I even better text his brother if I remember once I'm done doing this. Anyway, thank you so much for your donation.
Apparently, his name is in reference to Les Miserables. I'm butchering that.
That movie.
The movie?
Les Miserables?
Yeah.
Who?
The Prisoner 24601.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Nope doesn't have a question, but Genesis G70 and IS350 Lexus put in more effort. Wait, what? The Genesis G70 is an IS350 if Lexus put in more effort. You don't like the IS350? Was that really just a Toyota Camry or something? I've never driven the Toyota Genesis anything, which is a travesty, and I have to. So I will reserve judgment for that at the time whenever the time comes to judge it, I suppose. I have a bit of a headache, which means I need more chaser, which means I am done with that. Yes. Oh, this is a question for Bryce. And in fact, this is a good thing for him to answer. Once I'm going to go get myself a chaser, probably some fruit to go with it. That'll help me. It's a question I know the answer to, but I know you can comment on it better than I can, being, is it appropriate to refer to you as a tradie or you prefer builder? Tradie. Okay. The question is, any Chinese cars in New Zealand?
Are there any?
Chinese.
The Great Wall.
The Great Wall.
The Great Wall.
The Great
Even
Wall
I
would be
can't.
it, yeah.
Even I said that before you.
Oh, the Great Wall.
The Great Wall.
So, some people love it and some people hate it. My motto is that any tradie I've talked to thinks that's an absolute piece of shit. It would break. It can't hold anything. But if you talk to people who don't really use it, they kind of just drive it around in town and like, oh, this is a nice, cool looking ute. They love it because it never gets challenged. So if you're not really looking for a vehicle that can do heaps of work, great. But if you're going to take it off-roading, if you're going to load it up with shit, it's going to break. Yeah, that's what I'd say.
Anything else?
There's
China
another
cars.
one.
It's
I
more like
think, as
Japan.
well.
We mostly get like Japan imports.
Most of
than
them are
China.
Japan ports.
But
Chinese.
I just
The
remember.
Great Wall. And I think there's one more.
Hmm.
I can't remember the name of it at the moment.
Yeah.
Let's see, what does Brian think of the Great Wall?
I only saw one in a picture, and I saw one in passing in like Auckland, and Andrew Lamb pointed it out to me. I'm like, "That's a Chinese pickup truck," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Wow!" And I didn't see him one again.
They even have them at like our county fairs.
Yeah.
Like buy one today.
They're dirt cheap.
Yeah.
And they come in with some wicked warranties. Like they're trying to say, oh, we guarantee it for 5 years for all these things. And they do sound pretty good for the price they offer them at. But as I say, anyone I know who actually uses their truck for decent stuff in New Zealand thinks they're terrible. And people who just enjoy driving around in town and their version of off-roading is going up their gravel driveway, they think they're great. So...
As I learned with your Mitsubishi, any car is an off-road car if you try hard enough.
Well, that thing did great on grass.
Yeah.
Amazing traction for a front-wheel drive.
I'd like to get a Great Wall. I honestly, the right YouTuber to get his hands on a Great Wall is Savage Geese, because he has his lift, and I'd love to have him be able to examine like what sort of structural engineering they did or did not do on a car like that.
Like an actual good breakdown of it.
Yeah. No. Jono Twist says, has anybody tried to correct you in your pronunciation of EXUP?
EXUP.
XU Skyup. Now back to late night winterizing the FCR. Thanks for your concept. Thank you for your donation. I wish I could give you an answer, but I'm not exactly sure what you're talking about. Man, I drank a lot tonight. I'm a little bit swimming right now.
Kiwis do that to you.
Yeah. Nope says, I'm not even swallowing that.
Bryce, you do it. Okay. He's got
Thank
your
you,
back.
Bryce. Cheers, mate. Nope says, drive Marty's Daihatsu Mira. I would if given the offer to. We'll find out in 2021. Thank you so much, Nope. Thank you for your donation. What do we got here? Patrick Marzui says, thoughts on the Acura TL from the mid-2000s. I think it's a glorified Honda Accord. I don't see any reason to own one over an upscale Accord. No one's going to give you an extra berth to merge. I think they're pointless. I think they're a insipid cash grab from Honda. They're dumb cars. Just get the regular Honda, you freaking show-off piece of why I'm missing crap. There's my real opinion on the Acura TL. But it's still a Honda, and it's going to run forever. So it just has an Acura badge on it, which I don't think they even did Acura in New Zealand.
I don't even know what it is.
It's a luxury version of a Honda.
What is it?
Acura.
I have heard the name before.
You have?
Yeah.
You know how the Honda logo is like this?
Yeah.
Now make it go like this and turn it into an A. Now you have Acura. Now you're selling a Honda for an extra $8,000.
Oh. Why?
Exactly.
Like, yeah, they're an alright car, but they're nothing wonderful.
Right. Yeah. Nicole Detis. Nicole Detis. How do you feel about a diesel 2020 Jeep Wrangler Sahara? I think it's a fantastic idea. They hardly did diesel Jeeps here, whereas in New Zealand, there are diesel utes all the time.
Common. Like, most people who buy ute want diesel in New Zealand.
Yeah. Ordered one earlier this month, expected to arrive December-ish. Awesome. I think that's great. Maybe diesel will make a comeback in the United States. But, diesel...
You don't even see it at your petrol stations, though. Very rarely do I see pumps of diesel as an option.
Right. The diesel pumps are over there in the corner.
Oh.
Where everything's dirty and no one sweeps up. Now, diesel is considered in the U.S. for like utility vehicles and trucks.
Yeah.
Occasionally, you'll have Volkswagen had their gigantic scandal where they were cheating on emissions in the U.S. So now they're done selling diesel cars in the U.S.
Yeah.
So mostly it's reserved for like big trucks. Okay. That's it. Sober Kennedy says, no message, just money. Take care. Thank you. I definitely can do that. Mary Elizabeth Bauer says, came here because it's the nice episode. Technically, it's not the nice episode, but
it's the spontaneous episode.
It is a spontaneous episode. Thank you so much. Your money will be put to
good use.
I wanted like a $5 word in there, but mature use.
Mature use. Yes. That sounds like we're buying a porno or something.
Darukin says this podcast is best broadcast because brown.
Now this confuses me. Did you guys also refer to brown as a type of food in some ways?
There is Louisiana hot brown, but that's kind of like a pudding dessert.
Doesn't sound appealing.
Yeah,
calling food brown, like want some brown.
Hot brown is a
hot brown, hot brown, hot brown, hot brown. But then it's a theme in regular car reviews that I just say brown a lot. Like I say the word brown.
Yeah.
Brown.
Yeah.
Brown.
See, I get the poop reference as well, whereas I'm
brown. Lisa, you're saying brown an awful lot.
Hot brown.
People are just saying hot brown, hot brown, hot brown, hot brown.
Get your hot brown here.
Even better than normal brown.
Sometimes I just say, like, my life sometimes is so simplistic that I'm here, I live alone, and I'm living alone, and I'm on the toilet, and I just say brown out loud.
By yourself, like not even with your phone on?
Well, I'm making an album and recording myself, so I'm trying to make
like the electric keyboard next to your toilet. I'm just
I saw that.
And then there's a little recorder. I'm like, oh, at least you're busy when you're in here. I just read my phone, but hey, you're making something.
Dude, I'm like 4 songs away from 100 songs about poop.
When's the album coming out?
Once I finish like 4 more songs.
RCR's Mr. Brown album.
The album is literally going to be called Songs I Wrote While I Pooped.
Wow.
A regular car reviews album.
Wait, so how long is this video going to be when you put it up?
What video?
The poop one.
Oh no, I'm like going to sell it on Bandcamp. This is going to be a real album.
Oh damn.
100 tracks.
What?
Will Down says, have you ever been Nick to Cedar Point, Sandusky, Ohio? I think so. No, I have not been there. I'd like to go before I die. I've heard a lot about Cedar Point. I think our friend Foster knows more about that than he's been there because he's in roller. Yeah. Andy C. Nice avatar. $2.69 cents. Nice +2. Fun 6 to 12-year-old manual hatch or wagon where we can always go Subaru Forester, Subaru Impreza for that.
Impreza.
You can go, yeah, Impreza.
Impreza.
Yeah.
So fun.
Yeah. If you want a front wheel drive thing, any Civic hatch will be good. And also, if you can swing it, the Honda Accord 6MT, which I don't know if they sold in New Zealand.
Is that a hatch of the Accord? Or is it
a coupe?
A coupe?
2-door Accord.
No, see, not to my knowledge in New Zealand. I don't even knew the Accords as like your big kind of sedan vehicle. I enjoyed it because it was big and it went really well, but a coupe would be fun.
Yeah, this is a coupe with 272 horsepower.
Oh, that'd be really
And it's a Honda.
Yeah.
With a V6 and a 6-speed manual transmission. It's one of the greatest like cheap cars I've ever driven. Like, you're kidding me. It's a freaking Honda Accord and it rips.
Yeah.
It's great. And when I made that video, people in the comments are like, thank you for trying to say like this is a diamond in the rough.
Yeah.
Like, you drive it, it doesn't look like anything. It's just some old like gray Honda.
Yeah.
And it goes like a bullet. Great. Honda Accord 6MT, man, if you can swing it. And I think with that, we've reached the end of the chat, and I need to take a shower.
You did it.
Woohoo.
We did it. Thanks for sticking through me with this.
Yeah, it's been fun.
We get to break down all this equipment then, or rather.
Oh, really?
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
All right, guys.
Sweet.
Thank you so much for sticking through all this. We are now wrapping up this podcast right now. These guys need to sleep on the futon on which they are standing right now.
Yes,
bless you.
This is our bed.
And we're going to get to bed right here. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. This has been over 2 hours with us just talking around about, cars and like reflecting it off of New Zealand. So thank you to everybody who donates to RCR's Patreon. Thank you to everybody who donated to the sound like the wettest fart I've ever heard. Thank you to everybody who donated to Super Chat. Your money is what allows Regular Car Reviews to act as a much larger YouTube channel than it really is. Future dates involve RCR Australia in 2021, RCR Japan in 2022. We are planning in sometime in March to, I think, visit either Scottsdale, Arizona or Las Vegas, Nevada, as our screw you to the winter to go to someplace warm. Any sort of future dates where we're going will be told about in future live stream episodes. Thank you so much to the Johnsons, Bryce and Juliet, for joining on this podcast and talking about stuff from New Zealand. And have a very good night, guys. Thanks for watching. Good night.
Abuse.